The following program is sponsored by Mike Gray with Morris Williams Realty. Views and opinions expressed are not those of this station, its owner, staff, or management. Now, the Golden State Report with Mike, Amy, and Dave.
Welcome, everybody. You are listening to the Golden State Report, heard every weekend on AM 1380. I'm Mike Gray with Morris Williams Realty, and so happy that you have tuned in this weekend. And in the studio, I have my two partners in crime that I usually have, and anxious to have them join. I have Amy DeBus from American Pacific Mortgage.
Hello, Mike.
And David Stone from the Stone Consulting Group.
It is so fantastic to be with you guys.
It's great. You know, we are in May, and it's just, you know, the weather's starting to turn warm again, and the flowers are blooming. And,
yep. Mother's Day passed, and happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there.
Yeah.
And allergies are in the air. I really suffered during, especially when the wind blows. And, spring can be windy here in the Sacramento Valley, and I wake up and I see the trees blowing. I go, oh, this isn't going to be a good day for me.
Well, you do your best, and try to stay protected, right?
Yeah, and then luckily the wind doesn't blow quite a bit here, especially in the spring.
Well, where does the wind blow with the real estate market?
Yeah.
Well, the wind is blowing too a little
Good
bit
segue.
more. That was slick, wasn't it?
Very smooth. Very smooth.
That's the smoothest she's ever done that. I think.
I agree.
Pretty impressed. Yeah. So,
very good, Amy.
This is going to be Amy's show.
Anyway.
We're so surprised when she does something smooth.
I know. She's amazing, Amy.
And that's why. Well, we have activity in the market. Although it's not like it, we really have usually in the springtime, April and March, April and May and June, that's the highest activity. That's the busiest months for real estate.
Typically, right?
Right. And last year at this time, the market was just really, really, really quiet. And interest rates kind of kept climbing last year, and the market got quieter and quieter. Toward the end of the year in October, it was really, really quiet. But then people have kind of adjusted to the interest rates. And so in the Tri-County area, we're up about almost 40% with listings that are on the market from 1 year ago.
Compared to 23, because it was so bad last year.
Yeah, but we're up 40%. Now, that's still below what we normally are at, but that's still a pretty significant increase from 1 year ago. And when I look at prices that were at 1 year ago, prices hadn't really come down that much, but we're up anywhere from 3.5% to 5.5%. Depending upon which county, which zip code you are.
It's a nice little appreciation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. So there's activity out there. A lot of buyers have, kind of adjusted to the fact that interest rates are higher.
Yes, they have. And
they've also, they've heard us sound like a broken record that, in the long-term history of mortgage rates, a high 6 and low 7s is an excellent mortgage rate, and it still makes your home a great investment.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
And so I think buyers have adjusted. Now, we still don't have quite the inventory that I would like out there. And that's mainly because there are still a lot of sellers that are hanging on to their low interest rates. And they just kind of grip them really, really tight. And they're not letting them go.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing the appreciation that we're seeing is because of the low inventory.
Right.
And when you have a really nice house for sale, it goes like hotcakes.
But people are buying homes, right?
Are.
So, and it seems like every time we have a conversation about a deal, often there's cash offers that are coming through.
We're seeing cash offers out there. If a house is priced correctly, sellers not trying to get the highest. I want to be the person on the block gets the most for their house. But you said no. This is what the market says your house is worth, and pricing it that, and then doing the work to prepare their home for market. They're going to attract a lot of attention, almost regardless of the zip code in the Placer, El Dorado, Sacramento County area.
Yeah. Wow.
And so it's a great time to sell, but make sure you do your due diligence. If something is on the market for more than 3 weeks, more than 21 days,
something's wrong.
And the 80% of the time, it'll be the price. 80% of the time.
So our clients out there still just feeling like my house is worth more than it really is?
They're and that's a natural thing.
That's in every market. That's called human nature.
And it's because they also, they see what their house was worth at the very, very highest point of the market and assumes it just has gotten,
Well, maybe they took a Zillow reading in, January of 2021.
They're still doing
2022,
the dream.
2022, yeah.
So, yeah. And anyway, so I mean, it's just a good realtor will sit down with somebody and say, this was the market shows. And, these are the comps within, your market radius. And these are the comps compared to your home.
Yeah.
And let the stats and the information kind of help the seller come to an understanding of what their property is really worth.
My favorite thing that my clients and my sphere of influence and my family say to me, well, my house, I've lost $100,000 in the last 3 years. And I'm all, really? Well, let's talk about this.
Yes.
You bought your house in 2017 for $545,000. In 2024, it's now worth $650,000. How did you lose $100,000? Well, in 2021, it was $700,000 on Zillow.
I mean, and you had those conversations, and a good realtor, I expect that conversation, and then it's all right. Let me, I've done this for 25 years. Let me kind of show you some of the trends, what's going on, and let's kind of relook at that perspective. In your perspective, Amy, this is what I would tell that seller. You bought it in 2017 for $500,000. It's worth $655,000 right now. All right, so that's what, 7 years, 16, no, 17 to 6 years. In 6 years, you gained $150,000. Let's divide 150 by 6.
Yeah.
What do we get? Well, we get about $25,000. So in 2017, if I said, you know what, if you buy this house, you can enjoy it for the next 6 years, and at the end of 6 years, I'm going to give you $150,000 more. What would you have told me?
Tax-free money, by the way.
And you would have said, that's a good investment. Would that be a good investment, Dave, my investment guru here?
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, you would be okay with that.
Yeah.
And you also got to enjoy it for the last 6 years. Your family could have Christmases there. You could have your family celebrations there. You got a new puppy during that time. He was welcome to your family. All these wonderful memories happened.
Yeah.
And you enjoyed life, and you still made $150,000. Well, when you put it that way,
that's right.
Sometimes,
I guess it doesn't sound so bad.
Sometimes it's a matter of perspective.
So is it different from county to county right now? Are we seeing any difference between Sacramento County versus Placer County, El Dorado County versus Yolo County? I mean, what's going on in the counties, or is it all basically the same?
Sacramento is probably the most active county right now, and that's usually always the case.
They're the lower priced homes.
We have a wider range of homes to choose from, a wider kind of demographic area. Then it's usually Placer, and then it's El Dorado, kind of at 1, 2, and 3. But in the spring, it's been Sacramento, and then El Dorado, and then Placer has kind of slid down to third.
Okay.
And I think it's because interest rates probably have a bigger effect on the price points that are a little bit more expensive in that mid price point to that higher price point in Placer County. So the interest rates might have a little bit more effect on that.
Yeah.
Also, when you look at all the different reasons that people sell, and some of those reasons are starting to hit a little bit quicker in Sacramento and El Dorado County than they are in Placer County. Sometimes an older population in El Dorado County than Placer County, demographics-wise. If I look at the demographics, I'm going to see that.
Okay.
I'm going to see a wider range in Sacramento, so hence they're a little bit more protected from things. The Placer County is going to be a little bit more midlife. And a little bit more middle class to upper middle class, and we don't have to move right now.
Yeah.
Okay? Where El Dorado County, they need to downsize just a little bit. It might be a little bit more important to a seller in El Dorado County.
That's a really good perspective. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So I look at all the demographics, trying to figure out what things. And
why would they be selling? Why would they be buying at this time?
Right. And
tell us a little bit about one of your recent listings. It'd be interesting to kind of get a feeling for what you're seeing from your experience in markets. How long are houses staying on the market? That kind of thing. Do we have time before the next segment?
Yeah, I think I can do it real quick. I just had a listing hit in Pollock Pines about 10 days ago, and we went pending after 10 days.
Wow.
But it was a challenging listing because it was a very large home up in near the Jenkinson Lake.
How many
acres.
square feet was it?
Almost 4,000.
Oh, wow.
That's a big house.
5 to 6 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And that's a really large house for a mountain house, a mountain retreat, or a mountain second home, or a permanent home.
Right.
And so we went in there and looked at the home and said, okay, we're larger than almost any other home in a 2-mile radius.
Mm-hmm.
And so we tried to identify the buyer that would buy that type of a house. And it's somebody who's looking for a second home where they could have a lot of extended family, a lot of friends up for the summers, for the, you're 45 minutes from the Sierra Tahoe, from the ski. Jenkinson Lake's was right around the corner. And so we brought a stager in. And usually when we stage a house, oftentimes we stage the front and then the kitchen, the living room, and the master bedroom.
Okay.
And then the other bedrooms and stuff we kind of let go. But this house had 2 living areas, one in the main floor and one in on the second floor. 6 possible, maybe 5 bedrooms. And we really wanted to kind of expose it to that person who might want to have large family gatherings there, had a big game room. So we staged the entire house to show how you could use it. So all the bedrooms got staged.
And how much was the staging fee?
The staging fee was $8,000.
Okay, $8,000, and the sellers had to pay that out of pocket before.
Yes. I had an agreement with the stager that we would just pay it out of escrow at close of escrow.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
As long as it closed within 90 days from the listing date.
So I want to know. I mean, I know we're up against the clock, but how did it turn out? I guess it hasn't closed yet, but it did go pending.
Yeah, it's pending, and we're going to close in the next few weeks here, and it's a pretty solid deal. And I had told the sellers, I said, if we leave that big house empty, we're going to be in the high 400s, low 500s. If we spend this money staging, we'll be in, we got substantially more than that, to the tune of $60,000 more than an empty house. So you got sellers spent $8,000.
Yeah.
And I think in my mind it helped sell the house quickly and for almost $50,000 to $60,000.
So that's
incredible.
Great return on investment.
But if you have any questions about buying or selling, you can give us a call, 530-431-8586. Again, 530-431-8586.
Trees of